also the website of AKS IAS Academy. About me, I am Sandeep Bhushan and I have 10 years of teaching experience for civil services. I teach international relations, internal security and the analysis of the Hindu newspaper. And this session will help you in regards to cracking prelims and mains examinations, because throughout my session I would be emphasizing on the keywords and the key phrases, and these keywords and the key phrases which I would be emphasizing would be definitely or certainly beneficial for you in regards to the prelims point of view, because we will be focusing on the factual, analytical and conceptual questions which will be useful for you in regards to the preliminary examination, as well as in regards to the mains examination also we will be focusing, because by making sure that we imbibe the keywords and the key phrases in your answer writing, that is in regards to the mains examinations, wherein answer writing is a key for you to score higher marks in the mains, especially in the general essay and all other papers. So your answers should be precise and concise, and your answers can be precise and concise only when you get into the mode of inculcating the keywords and the key phrases in your answer writing, so that your answers would be precise and concise. And once your answers are precise and concise, certainly you will score higher marks in the mains examinations, and that will definitely help you to score more marks, and then you will definitely be at an edge over others in regards to prelims, mains and also for the interview. And this session will definitely help you for both 2020 year and also for the year 2021. And this we will be in regards to the daily news analysis, that is DNA of today's, that is 14th of September 2020. And the quote of the day is, one small positive thought in the morning can change your whole day. So certainly what is required every day is a positive thought. So start your day with a positive thought, so that it will change your whole day, and also it will be very useful for your long-term goal or your success. And before I get into the topic, I would say a very good morning to you all. Good morning to you all, and good morning to Tarun, Rahul, Praveen Kumar, Prithviraj, Nandita Depa, D. Suvarna, all of you, a warm welcome to AKS IAS Academy Daily News Analysis. And now we'll get into the topic, that is the Daily News Analysis on the topic status quo. Status quo on LAC after Jaishankar Wang meet. So we have seen couple of days back, that is on last week, we have seen that both the foreign ministers from India and China have met on the sidelines of the Shanghai Cooperation Organization in Moscow, and they have met and they have come out, they have agreed to come up with a 5-point course of action or 5-point solution. And this 5-point solution would definitely ease the border tension. That is what both the countries foreign ministers have come up with a balanced solution. And after that, that is the post 5-point solution to ease the border tensions between India and China along the LAC. And the next movement which is positive is that there is a freeze. This is important. There is a freeze on all movements and activities along the line of actual control. So Rahul was asking me on that day, sir, whether this 5-point course of action will definitely create any kind of positive outcome, and whether China will definitely stick to it. Yes, definitely, I said on that day, probably we all wish that both the countries will come up with the 5-point course of action solution which would really ease the border tension along the LAC. And now there is a freeze in the sense a stop, complete stop on all the movements and activities along the line of actual control. And I've been talking about this keyword, so this is another keyword which you need to focus throughout your preparation, that is status quo. What do you mean by status quo? Status quo means present situation. So India is really wanting the China's troop or China to make sure that they follow or they stick to the status quo of the month of April. So in the month of April, what was the status quo or the line of actual control or the position of the Chinese troops along the LAC? We wanted to maintain that status quo as per the April. So the status quo which has been maintained by India and Chinese troops both at North and South Pangong Tso Lake. So definitely we know that the tension is at the Galwan Valley, no doubt, Depsang Plains, and then in regards to the hot springs, Pyeonggang Tso Lake, and also in regards to the Sangpur Lake, south of Sangpur Lake also, there is a conflict zone which is happening. So definitely the status quo is been maintained by both the countries, which saw renewed mobilization of troops, vehicles and weapons in last few days. So in last few days we have seen lot of mobilization of troops, vehicles and weapons, but all those have been freeze now on all movements and activities. Because of what? Because of post 5-point solutions between India and China. And Patashala E-Study has also joined. A warm welcome to you. Good morning to you, and a warm welcome to AKS IAS Academy to you. Telugu, he says Telugu, but I'm extremely sorry. I would go ahead with English, but I'll make sure that I will go ahead with the normal words so that you can understand it better also. And there has been no additional deployment. That means earlier there was mobilization in the sense movement of troops, vehicles, weapons, but now there have been no additional deployments, especially in the finger areas, because I have discussed about the finger areas also. From finger area 1 to 8 we have discussed about this. Now there are no additional deployment in the Pyeonggang Tso lakes, because we have seen earlier there was massive build up along the finger area, but after the 5-point course of action solution which has been agreed by both the foreign ministers, now mobilization is lowered, additional deployment is lowered along the Pyeonggang Tso Lake and the finger areas. So what is very important is freezing of all the movements and the status quo. These are the two keywords which you need to focus. And definitely there are talks which are going on in regards to the issue or the standoff or the skirmish between the between India and China along the LAC, and the ground commanders. The ground commanders are all making it very clear that they would discuss about the confidence building measure. Because the fourth point of 5-point course of action is that both the countries would want to come together, that they wanted to come up with a new confidence building measure. Now both the countries wanted to come up with a new, or they wanted to design a new confidence building measure. So they are discussing the confidence building measure, and this is the keyword for you in regards to the preparation for UPSC perspective point of view. And we have seen in the past that the gunshots which was fired between India and China was way back in 1975, and again we have seen on August 30 and September 7th we have seen the firing which has been witnessed between India and China along the LAC. And definitely the standoff, that is the skirmish or the standoff, is right from April or May of 2020, and the conflict zone between India and China along the LAC is the Depsang Plains, Gogra or hot spring area, Galwan Valley, Pyeonggang Tso Lake. And we have seen all that on June 15, the midnight of the June 15, 20 Indian soldiers were killed in the Galwan Valley. So here if you look at the map, this is the Galwan Valley, and this area is the hot spring area, and this is the Pyeonggang Tso Lake. And then you have this area as called as Depsang Plains, and this is DBO, that is Darbuk Shok Daulat Beg Oldie. From here it starts, Darbuk Shok Daulat Beg Oldie road of 255 kilometers. So it is here. Daulat Beg Oldie is the place here, and which is very close to Karakoram Pass. So this you have a pass here. It is called Karakoram Pass. So this again for geography map based, I have made you understand where is Galwan Valley, hot spring areas, and this is Pyongyang So Lake. So this area is the one wherein now the freeze of or the stop of the mobilization of the troops is taking place because of the 5-point course of action which has been agreed between both the countries along the sidelines of this Shanghai Cooperation Organization talks which have been taken place in Moscow. And there is another news which talks about gas well fire put off after 110 days after the blowout. So definitely this is an natural disaster which has been since almost May 27th. So the gas was blown out on May 27th and it was burst into flames on June 9th. So the important here is the gas is blown out on May 27th and it was burst on June 9th. So calculating from May 27th to the flames were put off on September 13th. So it took almost 110 days. And where did this incident take place? It has taken place in well number 5. Well number 5 in the Bhushan oil fields. Which oil fields? Bhushan oil fields, which is very close to Dibrugarh or Dibru-Saikhowa National Park. So these are all very important information from prelims UPSC perspective point of view, because it is well number 5 and the gas which oil field it is Bhushan oil field and it is close to a national park. So there could be a possibility that a question could be asked, that the question could not be asked in regards to the Bhushan oil field, but the question could be again framed in regards to the Dibru-Saikhowa National Park. It could be in regards to the Dibru-Saikhowa National Park. So this again important for prelims in regards to national parks. So it is very close to Dibru-Saikhowa National Park, and this blown out was uncontrollable escape because of equipment failure, it has says, and they were Indian Oil Limited and foreign experts who did manage to divert the gas. How did they? The point here is how did they put off? How did they put off the fire which was blown out of the gas in the well number 5 of Bhushan oil field, and it is out of the 22 crude oil and natural gas wells. The incident which has taken place is in the well number 5. In the well number 5, please do understand this for the prelims point of view. In the total out of 22 crude oil and natural gas wells in the Bhushan oil fields. So Bhushan oil fields has 22, and in the 22 crude oil natural gas, the incident or the blowout of the gas and burst of the flames has taken place in the well number 5, which is very close to Dibru-Saikhowa National Park, and they did try to divert the gas, and by diverting the gas they have put off the fire. And also we will look at the technical point of view which the UPSC might focus on. We will definitely look at, and this cut off of the supply to the well head. So definitely this well head, wherever you have the head of the well, that is the well number 5 in the Bhushan oil fields, they did try to divert the gas. And Gopi Nayak has joined, Harika Yadav, Asmat Khan, all of you a warm welcome to AKS IAS Academy for the daily news analysis. And they did try to go ahead with killing of the well, that is killing of the well in the sense the blowout of the gas. They did kill the gas which was blowing out. So the killing of the well entails that what it constitutes, how they have done it. This is important. Injecting. This is a keyword here. So they have killed the well, the gas which was blowing out, by injecting the killing fluid. So this killing fluid is the one which could be a probable question in the prelims. What is the killing fluid, or the killing fluid which was used to blow out the fire which has been burning for almost 110 days, is a viscous cement mud. It is a viscous cement mud. What do you mean by viscous? It is a gummy or a sticky one, cement mud, through the inlet of the blowout preventer to a depth of 3.5 kilometers. So this viscous cement mud was put, this killing fluid was injected into the depth of 3.5 kilometers of the number 5 well. So this is technically, there could be a possibility that it could, UPSC might frame a question on the killing fluid which has been injected for the killing of the well, and that constitute what? Viscous cement mud. And this fluid is expected to. So what does this fluid do? That is the killing fluid. It will plug. It will plug. It will stop. Plug in the sense it will stop. So it will stop subterranean perforation. This is the keyword. Subterranean perforation. Perforation is what? Perforation means hole. So the hole which has been due to technical errors, and from the hole the gas was blown out, and because of the blowing out of the gas, again because of the ignition, the fire has been caught, and that hole was plugged. It was stopped. How? By injecting the killing fluid, that is viscous cement mud, and that has stopped the hole and it has blocked the surge of natural gas, so that once they block it, the gas will not blow out. And this is the technique which they have used to divert the gas and then to stop the fire, to put off the fire. So this is very important concept which you need to focus. Killing fluid. Killing fluid is the one which you need to focus for the UPSC perspective point of view. And in the entire accident, 3 OIL employees have been killed, and then 3 foreign experts have been injured in the entire capping operation of the oil which was leaked. And this has taken place in a place called as Tinsukia, and it is very close to Dibrugarh, and you have here again Jorhat, again it is a national park. You have Jorhat here. So do consider the national park here, because there could be a possibility that the question could be framed on the Dibru-Saikhowa National Park, or else there could be a probability that UPSC might frame a question on the geography map based, wherein it could be asking you a question in regards to the Dibru-Saikhowa National Park and then Kaziranga National Park and then Jorhat. So definitely these are all very important, because there is now we are linking the national parks with the natural disaster which has taken place. So that way you need to keep on linking the news. Ram Kumar has also joined. A warm welcome to you, Ram Kumar. And the another news is the Union Health Minister Vardhan makes it very clear, once the vaccine gets into, or once the vaccine is ready, it will be administered first to the frontline workers. So the frontline workers would get the vaccine whenever the vaccine is ready in India. So as per the Union Health Minister Vardhan, he says that first the frontline health workers, senior citizens, and the one who are with the comorbidity. What do you mean by comorbidity? Comorbidity is the one who are having one or more health issues or health problems. So the one who have one or more health problems, or the frontline workers or the senior citizens, will be administered the COVID-19 vaccine first whenever it becomes available. So whenever it becomes available, they will make sure that they will administer it to first the frontline health workers, senior citizens, and third is to the comorbidities. And the health minister makes it very clear there is a probability that the vaccine might be ready, may be ready by the first quarter of 2021. So next year, probably by the month of April, May, June, first quarter, there could be a possibility that the vaccine can be ready. That is what the Union Health Minister Vardhan is hoping so. And definitely, as we have seen, there are a lot of concerns which are being or will be raised whenever the vaccine is in the phase 2 or phase 3 trials. And we have seen that last week AstraZeneca, that is UK based Oxford University UK based pharmaceutical company, which has been administering the COVID-19 vaccine across the globe in Brazil and in South Africa. We have seen that there were volunteers have experienced some kind of adverse scenario. So definitely there will be fears. That is what the Health Minister Vardhan says, that there will be fears in regards to the safety of the vaccine when it is administered. And he says if anyone has any kind of fears in regards to the safety of the vaccine, he says he would be the first person, or he will take the first shot, or he will be the first volunteer to make sure the vaccine is administered to him, so that the people will have no trust deficit. People will have no trust deficit. And the government or the health ministry is also focusing on the issues like vaccine security, cost of the vaccine, equity of the vaccine, cold chain requirements, production timelines. So definitely there would be issues. So once the vaccine is ready, first issue is vaccine should be ready. After the vaccine is ready, there will be various issues, like example, vaccine security, cost of the vaccine, equity is like which different section of the community or the group or the society will get the vaccine or will have access to vaccine, is the equity, cold chain requirements, and production timelines. All these are being discussed intensively so that the issues will be dealt, that everyone will be taken into consideration. So health minister is making it very clear in regards to the vaccine which may be ready by the first quarter. And then the National Expert Group on Vaccine Administration for COVID-19 is under the chairmanship of VK Paul. And along with that, Niti Aayog is drawing a detailed strategy. This is important. So both together, that is National Expert Group plus Niti Aayog is coming together or have come together, and they have drawing or they are coming up with the detailed strategy on how to immunize the majority of the people. That means how to administer and how to make sure that the majority of the people or the population are having the immune, or the vaccine would be immunized to the entire or the majority population. So in regards to the immunizing the majority of the population, which among the two have come up with a detailed strategy how to immunize the majority of the population? That is the question. That is, the answer is National Expert Group on Vaccine Administration and Niti Aayog. This is the answer. And along with that, the Department of Biotechnology and ICMR, that is Indian Council of Medical Research, have been proactive in responding to emerging situations. So all the emerging situation during the phase 2 and phase 3 trials, along with the situation when the virus has been affected since then, from vaccination, from phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, all the human trials, the Department of Biotechnology and ICMR have come up or been a proactive in responding the emerging situations. And the minister has said that they are actively partnering even with, that is, India is actively partnering with Coalition for Epidemics Preparedness Innovations. So CEPI. So India is definitely actively partnering in regards to the vaccine, which would have all the security concern, all the security issues which will be dealt by the Coalition for Epidemic Preparedness Innovation. So all these are the keywords which you need to keep on focusing while you are preparing for UPSC, because these keywords are the key, so that these keywords have to be mentioned in your answer. That is, you do mention in your short notes, so that it will be very impressive answers while you are going ahead with the answer writing practices. And the another news is Singapore Convention on Mediation comes into force. So here the keyword is Singapore Convention. So definitely this is very useful topic from economy point of view in regards to the UPSC perspective. And this is Singapore Convention on Mediation. So the Singapore Convention on Mediation has come into force on September 12, 2020, and this could be very useful information again in regards to the preliminary examination point of view. And then this Singapore Convention on Mediation is also known as United Nations Convention on International Settlement Agreement. So the Singapore Convention on Mediation is also known as, do understand the importance of this for the prelims perspective point of view. United Nations Convention on International Settlement Agreement. So any international settlements will be resolved by a convention, that is as per the United Nations Convention. That is an agreement which is also called as Singapore Convention on Mediation. And what does this convention provide? It provides a more effective way for what? For enforcing mediating settlement. So definitely whenever you have a corporates or the foreign investors investing in India or various other countries, so in the midst of the business there could be various disputes which will evolve, and once the disputes evolve, so there has to be a settlement for those disputes. So to resolve or to enforce a mediation, so first to resolve the issue there will be a mediation. So mediation for the settlements, for what? For any kind of disputes, that is corporate disputes. So this Singapore Convention on Mediation or United Nations Convention on International Settlement Agreement will provide a more effective way for enforcing, to enforce what? Mediating settlements of corporate disputes, which involves all business activity or disputes in India or any other countries. When I am saying any other countries, that again it says that the countries which have gone or signed the convention, the countries which have been part of the signatory or signed the Singapore Convention. So it is mainly to enforce mediated settlements of any kind of disputes, the businesses which they have started in India or any other countries, and it is a harmonized and a simplified enforcement framework. So it is a framework which is an harmonized and a simplified one, because it will resolve all the disputes. And this is mainly, the convention translates savings in time. So what is the benefit of this Singapore Convention on Mediation? It will save the time and legal cost. It will save the time and legal cost. And now the point is, how does it save the legal time? Time and legal cost we will look at. So the advantage is savings, the time or in time, and low legal cost. And the convention, definitely the other advantage is it will boost ease of doing business credentials. So the ease of doing business credentials or the points will be boosting as per India or towards India, and it will enable swift mediated settlements. Swift means very fast mediated settlements of corporate disputes. So any disputes which arises among the countries who have signed the Singapore Convention on Mediation, it will enable a swift mediated settlements. And this convention in force, with the convention in force, it has been in force on September 13th. So this will seek enforcement on a mediated settlement agreement, as we discussed, and they can do so by applying directly to the courts. So please do understand, I was saying it will save the time. How it will save the time? The main important is, I said it will save time. So how it will save time? Because this convention, by mediating settlement agreements across borders, they can go ahead with applying directly to the courts of countries. So they can apply directly to the courts of the countries that have signed and ratified the treaty. Please do understand the main benefit of this, how it will save the time and legal complications. That is, it can, the party or the businessman or the company which are in disputes, companies which are in disputes, can apply directly to the courts of countries that have signed and ratified, instead of having to enforce the settlement agreements as a contract in regards to the domestic process. So here, once these countries have been part of the signatory of this Singapore Convention on Mediation, then it will not, or it will just skip the domestic process and they can directly apply to the courts of countries. I hope you are understanding the gist of this, or the main benefit of the convention, Singapore Convention on Mediation. Instead of having to enforce a settlement agreement as a contract in accordance with each country's domestic process, so they can overcome, or they will skip this domestic process and they can apply directly to the courts of the countries. And Singapore had worked. Why it is called as Singapore Convention on Mediation? Because Singapore has worked with the United Nations Commission on International Trade Law. So it has worked with the UN Commission on International Trade Laws and with other United Nations member states and united or non-governmental organizations. So Singapore has worked with United Nations Convention on International Trade Law plus various United Nations members plus NGOs. And as on September 9th, now the convention has 53 signatories, including India, China and US. Probably now the trade war between China and US, probably it can be resolved, the disputes can be resolved, if at all they wish to, by the Singapore Convention mediation. So this is the benefit of the Singapore Convention mediation, which has come into force. And once it has come into force, the countries can skip trying to enforce the disputes as a contract which is in each country's domestic process, and they can apply directly to the courts of the countries which they have signed. So therefore, the Singapore Convention on Mediation is definitely a boost for India also, because it is a boost for India, because the ease of doing business credentials will definitely improve. And then Bharat has joined. A warm welcome to you, Bharatwaj, to AKS IAS Academy Daily News Analysis. And now we will make sure that we will recapitulate the daily news analysis. We are focused on the status quo. So here, what are the keywords which are very important for prelims point of view is status quo, and again the 5-point course of action. 5-point course of action on the sidelines of SCORE Summit in Moscow. So definitely now the freeze of the mobilization of the troops from both the sides are being reduced. So definitely there is a positive outcome, and this is in regards to the India-China border affairs. India-China border affairs. And this is again in regards to the natural disaster which we have looked at. And here we need to focus about the fluid, killing fluid, which will be useful for you in regards to the prelims point of view, how they have made sure that the blowout has been stopped or put off. And about the vaccine, it is in regards to the science and technology. We have focused the various keywords here which will be very useful in regards to the short notes for your answer writing. Answer writing in regards to the vaccine, wherein the statement made by the health minister Vardhan, and then in regards to the economy, the Singapore Convention on Mediation. So this is again very important and useful for UPSC perspective, for economy point of view, especially focusing on the prelims. And this is also called as United Nations because Convention on the International Settlement Disputes Mechanism. So definitely I feel this session was informative, knowledgeable one, and then definitely it would make you that how you need to focus on the keywords and the key phrases, and then link the one issue with another issue, because in regards to the natural disaster, that is in regards to well number 5, we have again linked it to the national park which is situated in or very close to the well number 5, which is very close to Dibrugarh. So that way you will be benefited, and I hope you all will have an edge over others in regards to prelims as well as mains point of view. So I would say a big thank you and a good luck to you all, and do like the video, share the video and subscribe the video, and do subscribe even the AKS IAS English channel, and then do visit the website of AKS IAS Academy, and then subscribe the Telegram link of AKS IAS Academy, that is Advanced Knowledge System. And see you again tomorrow in regards to the DNA daily news analysis tomorrow at 7:30 AM. So do have consistency in regards to preparation, do stick to your schedule, and then do take care of your physical health and mental health. And I would say all the best and good luck for you all, and then see you tomorrow at 7:30 AM.